keeping a close eye on exactly how he's using this, because nowadays with the updates we've had, I think you have to justify Jett, whereas before it was a given. Look at this early fight here. feqew's got a great spot to try and just TP out of there. Sadly, not able to pick up a kill on his way.
Okay, cNed's already gone. In fact, they're taking a lot of damage on the way through. Plenty of tagged players on the other side. Vakk will at least get them deep control. He had the spike, so he's going to have to reroute his way back in just to make sure that they get into the afterplan. You can already see that wall is being broken. The boom bar, okay, took a little bit of a journey, but doesn't really do much damage in the end.
The way back in, that nade doing plenty of damage. Zeek down low, but here's the crossfire coming through, and then Zeek strikes. Good for the kill and a little bit more damage. starxo left alone, 45 HP, smoke down, but nade is on him. He cannot escape. MOLSI placing that nade with precision closes out the round, and OG London United pick up the first.
Yeah, they've been very good at these pistols. I think it was said by Lothar to have those set executions, and then you can blast pack through and sort of set up in that way. They literally just have, if someone can somehow set up some Sage utility, or they're going to be very reliant on the other side. Now, they have bought Mitch, so this is a heavy investment.
Spike down.
Well, good night. Really nice by feqew with the early fight, running up with the headhunter. The value of that up against this buy also obviously cancel, or even just a shot with that headhunter. They could have a huge advantage coming into this round, and
that
it's
works too
to return it.
Technically, he does now have the tour de force, so you know.
Fake TP.
Was one way to do it. Yeah, MOLSI looks very confused. It doesn't matter though, because Boo's already managed to find another in response. Wall timing's not great. Vakk goes flying through the air, and well, Hype will be able to correct his aim before any real problems come through. Paranoia in, but okay. That's 2 rounds in a row now where Stars has been killed using his TP.
Yeah, listen, the Paranoia, I'm behind. Try to step onto the side, maybe not so much. If there is someone close in the corner, as we saw, they are going to see you. You are nearsighted, not blinded. And that's the problem.
He's been watching too much.
This showstopper used right away. At least some aggression out of them. You see that push come through, but no showstopper pop. I'll conserve it. A good choice. Only one target there, and they've already fled at the first side of combat. This is a little bit awkward now, because you see Acend are going to walk into A. They've got 4 players here, 1 lurking outside of B, and as soon as they go for this push, oh no, the wall from Hype. It couldn't have been timed worse, but he somehow got out of there with most of his health.
It technically did slow them down, and that's bought time for feqew to get into position with that tour de force. Again, it's going to be an opening. Again, it's going to be cNed down, and they don't really have anything to fall back on. Again, not a lot in terms of flashes to try and force this off the angle. In fact, you have the 1, and the distance of it probably won't even reach him. So instead, Zeek is going to have lurked his way in on the other side of the map. Now, the rotation is going to take some time, and they are watching for this. They are prepared for this in middle. You've got Destrian watching to see if anybody's going to go back in that direction, but now the monster's caught a kill. I was wondering if they'd go back again. It seems like a little bit hesitant, and they don't know. It's not pretty, though, for Boo. It's only going to be the 1 kill, and now, well, that tour de force is everything, and Monster connects that shot as well. All one away
pretty
except
close.
cNed, and well, I think if you could rely on anybody to get a kill, it's probably cNed. Although he's had a bit of a quiet start. As said, a lot of their current composition is a lot more brute force. It's very reliant on plays like this, where Zeek is almost just taking that space, forcing them back off of individual ability. They're actually going to give that up for free, though. Lurking around that position.
You see, it's got no dash.
Yep.
He used to try and cross mid just in case somebody was peeking and he could quickly get across. But they've abandoned the B push, starting to move in towards vents a little bit, try to grab the control down this way. Looks like they're going to make noise on the way through. They were. Wonder if maybe they heard the chamber trap.
Oh, over the top. Nade to counter. In fact, showstopper as well. They're going to have to fall back off that wall very quickly. And in fact, with the stun that's come through, MOLSI's going to continue his aggression. Already with the first pick going his way. Monster desperately looking for a trade, but they are ready for Zeke's counter push into the B site. They're spotting players on this side as well, and with the heals coming back through, they are just trapped, and they've got nothing really to play with. Also, utility going to be spotted in the form of the trap, so they're just stuck in mid.
Blocking sight.
Not as bad of a position as you can get yourself into. Spike in hand, nowhere to go. starxo, 10 seconds, can TP.
10 seconds left.
You could try, but the time is just way too low for him to get anything done. He's going to back out. I guess this is an attempt to lure them into some unfavorable duels, but well, feqew a little bit quicker than anticipated.
I won't say I'm a big fan of it, but I think it is mainly just posturing for that second half.
There.
The thing is, though, they almost need to give themselves that little bit of extra wiggle room, because right now, OG look very comfortable.
Yep, they definitely do. You can see a lot of the fights that they went for around middle. They're happy to take those more aggressive stances. Not in this round, though. Not where you're playing up against the pistols. Gotta pump the brakes a little bit, let them run into you. Caged across is a little bit of an annoyance. feqew won't catch them either. The orb being taken. And now the collat makes up for earlier. All right, okay. On to the next.
Yeah, already the Blade Storm's gone. It lasted 0.1 of a second before cNed ends up going down to the player up above. Nice shot from starxo. Ultimately, getting anything from this point is still going to be difficult. He has managed to find himself a rifle, and it's not like they're particularly low on time. MONSTEERR is pushing this with the spike. I guess they really are just planning on working the picks here. Actually winning the round has just almost gone out of the question. But I guess he will eventually fall back after not being aggressed, and eventually we'll get that spike down.
It's locked in for now. OG on the way back through. They've only got 2 enemies to take down. The one closest is the sheriff. Good having control from starxo. Oh, good connections as well. feqew's left kind of low. There's a chance here. There's a real chance. Boo puts an end to any hopes and dreams on that side. OG getting away with a 5th.
Different pieces of re-aggression. As said, don't have anything to force off that operator, so feqew's almost being able to run wild, and the paranoia has actually been popped super early on alongside a one-way setup.
Oh, wow. The counter is there, though. Acend want to take that space back. Content to just give it up, bait them into open fights, and all 3 players ready and waiting. Running to the site. Boo taken down. Nades through, but it's not going to take any more heads. Hype trying to hold on, but the res is coming in. The numbers keep on extending in Ascend's favor. Hype doing well to keep them back. He's going to be peeked out eventually and taken down. Zeek has fallen in the meantime, and so too is vakk. Spike is down. cNed still with a dash online, wants to fight. But eventually that plant has to come through, or so they think. He's dashing out of there. He's taking space to main, and in fact, making an early rotate to the A site.
Yeah, managing to bait out that Rolling Thunder is huge. But it's whether he can actually manage to win the round, and just look at the position currently being held by feqew. He knows that unless he's gone all the way through the spawn at this point, he has to have made the move towards mid. I mean, could be everything here, though. cNed's actually managed to get it spot on.
30 seconds left.
And now the decision will be, does he actually double back in towards that B site, expecting the rotation? No. He walks to A, which is completely clear.
Got it wide open for him. Gonna plan safe. Obviously, 0 information on where his opponent is, but you'll assume somewhere around that B heaven area. He's got plenty of time to run down on the clock. But cNed seems to just want to sit on the side itself. Fault line to work with, no flashes. Saw the aftershock get the kill onto Zeek, but it's not online anymore. And the interesting thing here, you know, a lot of players would want to play the time. The position it's planted is not ideal, but cNed wants to fight. Look at him. He's postured for this. He's ready to take the duel. And as it gets tapped, oh, Destrian's watching it! Ready for these sneaky little plays, it seems, and he's got just about enough time. That is actually gorgeous. I guess the kind of tier 2 to tier 1.5 teams that you'll see a lot of the time, one half goes one way, game closes out. This is the way it used to always be back in the day, but we're starting to see the level of competition step it up to the point that, you know, teams can drop their map choice. They can get dominated, but they don't let it get to them. They don't let that stop them. Real chance here for OG to upset Acend, bring us to a third map, but somehow I can't help but feel like you said, Tom, second half, it could have some bad omens about it. This is a little bit scary already because Acend came in with pistols and they've now got a 4 versus 3 opportunity. Oh, hello.
I know exactly where you are.
He's chasing
This
him.
could be huge. They went for that early rotation, but feqew's now been revealed. It doesn't matter though. He still managed to land the shot, and also the slow goes through. This buys an extra little bit of time for Boo, but he's not going to be able to connect. Still though, they've already spotted 2 players on this side of the map. There's enough time that they could actually just double back in the other direction. Instead, they're going to try and pressure into what is a pretty nasty crossfire, although the shots are going astray at the moment. They managed to get past at least that initial angle, but feqew's still just landing shot after shot. Eventually he will fall, but now they have to fight through main. And the sneaky thing as well is that there's a second player in that direction as well. They will not know that both players are in this position. In fact, they're not even watching for the first, not expecting the swing from Boo, and he will take down both.
Such a big difference here on Split. And I can't help but feel like it's just due to it being more of a linear map than what you see on Icebox. It's really easy to get overwhelmed on that map. You know, it used to be the most for that, but obviously Fracture nowadays, a little bit wild. But yeah, here on Split, it's more back to basics, right? One of the core 3 maps, everybody knows it, and well, this team certainly looking good on another opening duel going OG's way.
Yeah, I almost have to feel like going into the next time they play this map, they're going to bring in something else. Like either you're going to have to switch cNed over to a Sage once again, which is something he's had success on before, and then let vakk play a breach or something, because right now they are just running into the blender. Like,
in the manner as well, just how much of a shutdown some of these rounds play out to be. Gets quite worrying if you're an Acend fan on this map. Again, half 2 is where we're keeping our hopes for, where we're holding our breath, but if OG keep building up these rounds, it might be too little too late. A Blade Storm for cNed is a scary prospect. That's just going to be popped. Oh, that's not what we wanted, but anyways, nade down, Zeek up close, frenzy in hand, and he's got a kill for free. That's an upgraded weapon, and now Destrian goes down. Acend, they might finally have found their funk on this as they get a plant through in a 5v3.
Spike planted.
managing to catch that aggressive push from Boo. Now leaving a retake with an operator. And they do have a res. If they could somehow pinpoint the player by the window, maybe they've got an opportunity here, but the smoke is going to make things so awkward for them. And also, the remainder trying to wrap around is not going to be easy. Nade should at least clear out Zeek. Instead, he's just going to instantly pop the... Oh, it's not pretty, though. MOLSI's been able to take down starxo. HP can be risen back up as they look to push into the site. The weaponry is still in their favor. Hype has now found another. MOLSI drops one more. It's starting to fall apart for Acend, but vakk might have just saved them. A triple spray down as they make their way into the...
Well, it's a lifeline. See what more they can make work. Again, feqew on the operator taking the early mid peak, and he has been shut down.
Yeah, nice shot from Zeek. One of the rare times I think we've really seen Acend get the opening, and well, Boo with a little bit of an off angle is going to quickly return it back to equilibrium.
The timer just bleeding away. Acend haven't got a whole bunch to work with here. They're going to put a trap wire, cover the A push, move in the middle. They got to at least get MONSTEERR cross, but I think they're going to want to split this through their own smoke. Yeah, in they go. But look, like OG London United, they're playing on the B site. They've got 3 players stacked down here, ready for the peak. There's the pixel angle held by Hype. Put down the slow, the nade, and well, Acend somehow come out on top in that situation. You can see all the utility is there. OG have the setup. Acend have the kills.
Yeah, Zeek bailing them out, I guess. It's starting to come online, which is a very good sign. I thought for a second that Destrian might be able to fade back and sort of predict where people are going to be. Nonetheless, still money, of course, on the other side. And, oh, he's made it, even stunned.
Rolling Thunder's coming through. Nade hasn't landed.
Oh, it's landed on cNed.
Oh, yeah, that's, I guess it did land. Not quite where it was intended. Buckaloo, 5 players after using a Rolling Thunder, they're still tucked outside. Oh, boo! Well, he certainly got a surprise on that one. Destrian able to pull it back, and then the Raze is coming into play. They're going to try to punish feqew down to the operator. Hype trading it back, but that was actually Zeek in with a kill just before he fell. Now the op of Monster showing up. 2 players on the site. Vakk isolated. Oh, but he's holding on well, trading himself out. Oh, well, that boombot, I guess, got the information it was looking for. MOLSI with 2 opponents to take down and practically no time to do it. Nice attempt. At 8-4 we go. What a recovery. It's the lead. The lead is good coming out of that half, but it could have been so much better. And I think that's something that can definitely haunt you now on the attack side. But MOLSI's not letting it get to him. And he's gotten a second, dodging the paranoia. What an animal. cNed under pressure now, and he will not find anything.
Player standing.
Yeah, looking like MOLSI might have just cemented themselves the pistol here. All of the pistols, in fact, thus far. Unless MONSTEERR has something to say about it. A 1v4 turn 3, walled off from heaven as well, so there's not really an angle that he can play into, and unless he somehow catches Boo off guard, which I doubt it, because it seems like Boo has already fallen back into a more passive position, and with the bullet going through, the information is there. Even just sitting in this corner wastes so much time. They even have the stun and then peek at exactly the same moment. Beautiful synergy.
But they're right back on up, so they can talk to their team, and they've told them they're ready to go. Round number 14. They're going to see OG London United looking to connect double digits. Acend have invested very little to stop that. They do have those shorties on either side of mid.
Yeah, I hope for OG's sake this doesn't work. I really don't want to see this happen. Especially with how much of an advantage they currently have in the match. I feel like this could just be the turning point if they somehow lost this round, but it would need an utter miracle. Already you can see the stuns going through, but this is somewhat of a ruse. Most of the players making their way in towards that A site. Only really going to be cNed there. Zeek does manage to get one. Now maybe if cNed could pop off with a couple of shots, that's the first. He's even going to reposition, connects onto feqew as well. It's starting to fall apart as cNed just hits everything. Only one man standing, and he'll get tagged up by cNed as well.
He's walking around with, well, what looked like an op to me. I don't know if he put bigger bullets in there. Oh, you're screwed. Oh, Zeek got 2. He got 2, Tom.
See, this is a man that's so confident in his own ability that at no point, I don't believe for a second he believed he was going to die there. Like, in my head, when I get stunned, I'm like, ah! And in his head, he's like, okay, only 1 tap now. And it's like, no, that's not a reasonable way to think about it. But, well, I guess that's what makes him a pro and me not a pro.
Spike down mid.
Ambitious to jump peek that after you'd already been shot at by a marshal. This guy's just running at them. he doesn't have a damn to give.
See, was that the Bladestorm kill? Because I wonder if that death might have actually, because he got 3 in the last round. I don't know if he got any bad team. It is just because Acend are a nasty team. And just, look at zeek! He gets away with 2 kills there. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, that is grotesque. That is not something you should be able to get away with off of 1 piece of utility and a blast back. Timing even looked pretty good for feqew, but cNed.
Ridiculous.
He's been seen.
Yep. Thinks he's sneaking around, but okay.
Okay, nice shot.
Shadows traveling.
Well done. Monster was aware that he was there. Like TP, it's going to cause a lot of paranoia for cNed. It's going to be worried about a player being up on the rafters as he goes back out. That smoke's going to fade soon enough, but there's another online. Where does Boo put it, though? Or anywhere? If cNed gets the angle here, I'm almost certain the kill comes through. There we go.
Shadows traveling. Stealing sight.
They expect the full rotation to be in, though. That's the thing. The rest of the players were actually incredibly slow. They were making a push into B main, almost expecting that they would rotate in another direction. Now you finally have that flank coming through. I don't know if the steps would have actually been heard there. It seems like Destrian is homed in on the angle. Because of that, it will now go back into a 2v2 scenario. A round that was looking like a done deal, now competitive.
They know they're up against an op. They'll be so cautious about peeking wider angles, but Destrian's gone down, and they know that Boo was on this site before. They've just seen him now, 85 HP. The operator just now coming in. Gonna creep his way around into the elbow, try to hold the angle, but starxo too quick on it. 7 on the board for Acend. They are creeping right back into this game, 2 rounds behind their opponent. As this defensive side is
B main. It's not like they even took B main and then he did that. It was outside of it. And then you've got to worry about cNed as well, who, as said, he's only going to come into his own on this defensive side. Like, being on the attack when you have no utility, it's like ramming your head into a brick wall and hoping that you get away with a couple of rounds. This defense is what this comp was made for.
There has been a big gap, though. Those players have now made it up through mid. Acend know it. It's not necessarily a gap that they're unaware of. Oh, good damage from MONSTEERR, even full blinded, but that's not enough. Oglu quick to get those kills. Now look at the A site. But the spike is down outside B. I'm not sure what the plan is here. Is Hype AFK?
I don't know. It does, like, at least by the direction he's facing, it almost just looks like he's staring straight into a wall.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, he's mesmerized by the spike, but that's going to put them in a pretty atrocious position, because it basically means that, is he just going to survive at the end of the round? That would be very, very unfortunate. starxo, though, under pressure. Shaky aim, but connecting either way. And while zeek has popped the showstopper, and, well, now we get probably the most exciting end to a round you're ever going to see.
Yeah, this is a little unfortunate, to say the least.
Honestly, like, I've been really impressed with Hype's gameplay so far. You really, you got me excited about him at the beginning of the day. You spoke about how good this player is, the difference maker for Oglu, and honestly, right now, I can see it.
He's back. He's back. Hype has rejoined the server. I saw him. Barriers breaking means that the action's about to come. Acend, weapons in hand. cNed trying to get some early fights in, and that he does, but it's MOLSI blast backing in after the stun had come through, stopping cNed from being able to scope up. That is a huge early fight for Oglu to win.
Oh, I don't know if that's the intended use of that smoke, but it sort of worked. It's not so much of a one-way, but it did have a nasty angle that can be utilized. Okay, then. zeek has just decided to pop the showstopper in this round. Clearly wanting to put it to bed completely. Operator picked up from feqew. That's something, at least. Because of the wall, it almost gave that weapon over. It's just how they're actually going to utilize it. And by the looks of things, on the other side of the map, it's almost more of a retake. There is only the utility that is currently there for MONSTEERR. Maybe just wanting to make sure that no one can get isolated here.
Yeah, especially when you're up against a potentially seized op, it makes sense to have those little backups. Well, vakk has cleaned house 9-7 after we've already played.
Yes,
around
that's what the break was long enough that my brain has melted. But yeah, that it's currently 9-8. cNed already is going to kick things off. Is there going to be a trade? There is. Boom.
Oh my.
Managing to find himself one. It seems like the HUD is completely melted at this point, but we're just going to try and ignore it and carry on.
Well, MONSTEERR's gone down. A little bit of room to play with in towards the back of the site, but Destrian's holding on. Only cNed left alive. 30 HP. Might have a Blade Storm, but I don't think he's quite feeling this one. Operator in hand. Is he still going for this? You absolute lunatic.
I think they've just got the cash. I think that's what it is. And ultimately, maybe they don't mind it being on the other side. He's just walked past. Oh no, Boo actually uses his utility. It now comes down to the 1v1. cNed also has his dash available for the next few seconds, trying to tap and bait him into the swing, but the time is now ticking away, and he's going to have to try and get back onto that one. And while Destrian has to just be careful he doesn't die to the spike.
Because I feel like this guy's just not even going to bother activating the dash. Gonna go into some early fights and be like, if they're here, I'll kill them. Fine.
It's looking like they're much more willing to try and just delay on B main. In fact, they've got Zeek basically just peeking straight down into mid. Oh, I don't know if it's just by the froze.
No, it's both of us.
Okay, I wasn't sure. You can never really tell. But either way, they're now looking to try and challenge in that direction. While Zeke's position has been given up.
Yeah, he's going to concede that fall back. A little bit extra utility committed. No harm to it for OG London United. Thing they haven't realized yet, obviously you got that wall up in heaven, and so Acend aren't really too worried about it while that's still intact. They've got 3 players on the site ready to take these fights, but the split is going to come through. The wall, I mean, kind of long left on it at this point. Either way, the players are soon set to break through. 35 on the clock. Not going to be much time to change up your mind. Who hasn't got the ultimate either? This is full dedication to the B play. Dive down. Good kill for MOLSI. On the back side, there's a crossfire. They might not expect this. To have this much of a heavy stack out of Acend is unlikely. And there you go. They cleared the close corner, but now starxo able to catch them off. That is a nasty triple. He's down. Down on the back of the site. Zeek able to at least take Boo. Trade there. feqew on the cross. Almost gets caught. Bladestorm out. That's going to stop him planting. He's got to go for it right here and now. He's sticking it. Committing to it fully. cNed now coming around the corner. Bladestorm not going to land. Down to a classic. He's hoping he's low enough, but only 1 knife hit. Oh, it's a disaster.
How good they're going to be. And FPX, who... Yeah, I think we can pretty confidently say how they're going to be, but it's normally incredible. So it's a really tough group to fight into for OG London United.
Well, 1:20 on the clock here, and you've seen some aggression. MONSTEERR all the way through the cage, allowing him to pass right by that trap. The whole team rotating in, knife in hand. MONSTEERR using his cam, and look, he's hearing the steps. He knows what's coming. Hello! He's waiting all the while, and then jumping in the most. Well, it's not the nicest of ways for that to end, but you know, it is what it is. cNed's gonna let one go by and ready to take the fight afterwards. He connects that shot quick as can be. Dash no longer online. He'll be caught by feqew, at least giving a chance. A 1v3 now with a tour de force in hand.
It's a rough opportunity to try and fight from, but maybe the weapon to do it. Time still not awful, but just look at this crossfire setup. It would have to be a lightning couple of shots out from feqew to be able to connect anything here. And the first one actually going to swing into him. A slightly over-aggressive peek. Manages to get the rifle in hand as well. Finds the kill, but starxo thankfully is there from behind to...
Using the utility as well. And that's going to... No, excuse me. Little hiccups kicking in. That's going to cause some problems. If you're OG London United now in the future rounds, you no longer feel like you're safe just with that trap down on A. You've got to be wary of your flank the whole time. They didn't catch cNed on the cross, and now he's ready to go. Dash online. He's gotten that blind. Luckily, doesn't get away with more. That would have been ridiculous.
You will not.
Yeah, they've actually got the res. So although this is... Ooh, okay, both teams have the res. It's going to be fought for. Zeek takes a bit of damage on the way out, but the heal is almost instant. And in fact, vakk... Oh, that's nasty. Playing with the shotgun. I don't think the flash went through properly. It actually blinded up hype on the way in. And now vakk is just starting to farm up these kills. Just utilizing his res and close to halfway back to it. Oh, Boo almost goes down to the boom bot.
Cover going out.
Well, this round looks in the bag.
You just witnessed Boo have an actual heart attack live on stream. You said he killed the boom bottom, was just stood still for a minute, like processing. Now he's gonna die. MONSTEERR had sewers on lockdown. Acend hitting up
9-3 half, 8-1 up at one point, and now Acend within just one round, being able to equalize things. A decent execution into the site though is going to take a lot of space for free. And see MONSTEERR just waiting for anybody to try and peek into the trip, and I think they did. They walked into the trip, and he gets a kill for free. cNed has found another. It might be an after plant, but the fact is there's only 3 holding.
feqew's got to find them on the cross here. These players on site are just held hostage. MOLSI with a showstopper. Find it hard to get room to get that in, and with feqew falling, it's going to be done here and now, isn't it? Hype out of this. A lead no longer in OG London United's hands. Acend have walked away with 11-11. 4 players alive, building up cash. What's worse, the showstopper with that defuse.
Get to that 12 rounds, but it's going to put them in a pretty awkward spot. Clearly reliant on some of those ults. Like, you do have yourself a showstopper, Rolling Thunder, which can definitely diminish the effectiveness of that weapon advantage that Acend have, but such a reliance on it, it does have me a little worried. Again, you've got yourself that one way. Again, you have an almost firing squad of players just ready and waiting, and with the individual brilliance of both MONSTEERR and zeek, well, I don't think getting these entries are going to be easy.
It definitely shouldn't be on paper. This is such a big risk by OG London United. It has to pay off. The spike on its way through heaven, and hype's gone already. A quick elimination through the smoke. They're still spraying. The Rolling Thunder is going to be used to punish them. A lot of space given up. The cross out by MOLSI. He doesn't know there's players already in spawn, watching and waiting for him to peek on out. He gives up the control, though. Instead, they'll fight for the site, losing Destrian, losing Boo. It's all on to MOLSI, and he's gone too. That was a 4 spot.
Either way, 12-11, cNed again. He's got no fear at this point, instantly activating that dash, wanting someone to face into him here. He's not going to connect the shot, and maybe there's a potential chance that he'll get picked off instead by the showstopper. Instead, he pulls out the blade storm, but lands absolutely nothing. A solid clear, the counter being attempted by zeek, and although it does damage, it doesn't do enough.
Well, it looked like for a second they were rotating to the other side of the map. I think that's very much what they want Acend to think. And they've dragged 2 players to rotate over there. The 2-2 setup. Gonna leave it into a pretty tough spot for zeek. No utility left.
There.
A glowing gun, though. It's glowing for a reason. This man has had so many incredible individual rounds. Another chance here as they prime up the smoke, the stun. The push about to follow through. The wall up. Locked starxo out. He can see the cross, but it's zeek who's going to catch the first. Now they know he's close. They'll look to swing and punish him. The spray! zeek somehow gets away with 3 kills. And that leaves MONSTEERR in a spot where he might be able to clutch this out.
Yeah, it's still a lot to ask. No utility to play with. Okay, a kill would get him the information that he needs, but I feel like sneaking his way through has so much more value. Trying to just catch someone off guard. Trying to almost watch someone with their back turned. I like this, though. OG London United are taking a little bit of initiative. They're going to go fighting in towards the spawn, and there's so many angles that MONSTEERR still has to check, still has to clear. He's spotted on one side, and they both peek him together. It will be OT. It will be a grind back. He's still discussing it with only seconds left on the clock. An early stun really seemed to have much impact, just almost delaying them a little bit. Maybe if they had a plan to sort of blast pack through early. Instead, though, they're just going to go running straight through. Already, it has to be the fadeaway. cNed looking to take that space, but a lot of damage in response. The wall will deny them and allow for an after plant to come through, but it's going to have to be a safe one.
They've broken the wall. Just so Acend need to commit some more resources towards holding this. When inside a screen spotted by that boom bot, they'll be ready for that play to come through, but they're just waiting at the moment. Destrian will have a SBC utility just came online, the fault line there to play with. They've caught MOLSI. Another player coming around, though. starxo super late. They will not expect him, and vakk's got them up close. A gorgeous play.
We've already had 2 overtime maps today. So we know that it's going to be a lengthy season, that's for sure. cNed again, taking this early aggression, taking the space, leaving MONSTEERR as the lone defender of this A site, but they're confident this pressure is going to be coming in onto B. Both Omens almost sat back to back behind this smoke, but instead the rest of the team have fallen back into a take of mid.
Got lots of players coming up here. cNed gonna have to go huge, and I think he got a tag there. Destrian 9 HP. just about surviving the blind a little late. It's not catching them. OG London United, wait, I thought they were giving it up and going back. In fact, they are. They were making noise, but those steps are heard. starxo's feeding the information. Info doesn't do a lot for you, though. Well, not when you're in MONSTEERR's position. He is stuck behind the site, waiting for these players to come, falling down into his sight. 5 on the other side that he's got to take down. Already in is 1. What is that? MONSTEERR's got another. It goes down, and that is an absolutely unbelievable task that he's just been faced with.
left.
A Herculean performance, and Boo and feqew have got to clutch this out to stay alive in their first series of VCT.
Oh, talking about super signings, MONSTEERR has definitely put himself in the limelight. It's up to his teammates to try and get something done here. Boo has already got 1 on the cross. feqew as well leaves it down to that 1 versus 1. Up close, starxo. Is he going to take the peek through? No, he's trying to bait Boo in, trying to force him to push through, but instead Boo just waits on the edge, not expecting him to be defused, and starxo just about is going to get that kill over the line. Acend will take the victory in that first match, even though it takes OT to get it done. And